Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're flipping the kiln, which I've already taken wood out of it this morning, delivered it. And I got 7 totes in here right now. I'll show you guys quick. Hopefully it's gonna get a little dark, but I gotta open her up here. All right. So I'm doing it a little differently today than I normally do. So I got 4 down the middle on the bottom. Obviously I got this oak on the top, I got cherry in the way back, and then mixed hardwood underneath. And the rest of this is mixed, so it's hard to tell, but I got these billowing up a little bit, and in the way back, probably can't tell, but it's really up there. So there'll be the most amount of wood that I've put in here, because I can get 8 in here if I go down the line like this. It's just the way I've designed this kiln, it doesn't dry the greatest that way. I mean, it will, it just takes a lot longer. Down the middle for me works the best. So, and then 2 in the back's not bad. It's all right because it all moisture gets sucked out of that. So yeah, well, I'm curious to see how well this does. I mean, the moisture level is going to be pretty crazy because all this was split last week. It's been in the sun for, like I said, a week, hasn't rained or nothing. So I'm anticipating it going a couple extra days. But that oak's been sitting out for a couple months, and a lot of it's starting to crack, which is good. Obviously, we know that's super wet still, but that should be way more ready to dry in hopefully 6-7 days here. So she's reloaded. Now I gotta get the trailer full, 2 cords of oak, pure oak, which is what's on the tractor right now, and then the rest of this stuff right here. So these 6. And the only reason I'm adding that one in there because when, you know, usually these are always billowing over when I get put in the kiln, but when the wood shrinks, a lot of the totes go down. Like you can even see this one's a little you know, lower. So instead of not giving enough when they're paying a premium for pure oak, I'd rather make sure they get a little bit more, because I do charge quite a lot more for oak, especially that it's been kiln dried and stuff is super dry. So I'm gonna probably set you guys up on a time lapse, me loading the trailer, probably from back here or so. Show the 2 cords in there. I gotta fumble around a little bit, but nothing crazy. And then I'll get this shut, fired up, probably add some wood in the boiler, so stay tuned. Alright guys, well, we got it loaded. As you can tell, I put the back sides on, strapped it. But that's 2 cords of pure oak. Some good looking wood here. Doesn't get any drier than that. And I'll probably end up just pushing this down just a little bit, just in case. I don't got too far to go, like 7 miles, but some bumpy roads, just don't want anything popping out of there. But I don't know, what was that, maybe 10 minutes of me getting on and off the tractor, strapping it on, but it's the only way I think that's possible to do besides having like a pallet, rotating forks. and then I could go over the side and dump it in there, but it works. It beats having a big pile or big bin of wood and having to touch the wood to throw it in, you know, because like delivery season, I mean, I'm gonna do, I don't know, close to maybe 20 cords of wood today. You ain't throwing all that in by hand. So I'd rather stack it in the totes, let it dry, and spend a little bit more time touching the wood one time than to touch it again when you're in your crunch for time, where I could just be banging out deliveries versus hand throwing it in and getting all tired. I'd rather stack it one time in the totes, move it. It works for me because like I said, we put it in the kiln. So let's get this guy fired up. I like to start it before I shut the door just to make sure everything's working properly. So let's see. Why does that keep doing that? Okay, she should turn on here in a second. There it goes. Fan's turned on. Yep. Heater's probably going. Yep, looks good. So let's get this closed up. Just like that, that's it. So the way I have it set up, she should just run like normal, except for I'm going to close this vent. So yeah, like right now it's only 60 degrees, 50% humidity, but that's going to fluctuate big time. The humidity will go down right away as the temp rises, and then once all the wood gets warmed up, it'll start releasing a lot of humidity. And I'm anticipating the relative humidity in the kiln to go up to, I don't know, maybe 60%, maybe more. It'd be 100% if I was inventing the whole time. So now that that's going, let's get the big boy loaded with some wood here, because I'd say within a few seconds here, or minutes, she's gonna kick into a burn cycle. So let's get some wood in her. We're gonna put these big guys in because the first couple days, the kiln's gonna require a lot of heat to get up to temp because you're gonna warm up everything. So this is all sugar maple that we did a tree job, I don't know, a month or so ago. So this stuff is not dry. So we're going to intermix that with some smaller stuff, because after our first couple burn cycles, she'll be nice and dry. We'll throw this stuff in. Most of this little stuff is all oak for the most part, but being this small, fairly dry. But the nice thing with these colder nights now, the house does call for heat maybe one time. I don't have the shops on yet. Obviously, it's not cold enough for that. But I was able to change the differential to 5 degrees. So I have it at 180, drops down to 175, kicks on. So, and she'll overshoot for maybe to 182, which is fine. I may adjust that again as these weeks come along. That should be plenty to get us through till tonight. Now it's probably going to be a little smoky here, so I don't know what you're all going to see, but I'll show you inside. So I don't know the last time this went into a burn, so I'm assuming in about an hour ago. Not too bad. So yeah, there is some wood in here. I mean, there's enough to probably get us through the day. Probably can't see too much, but now with the kiln being reloaded and cold. This stuff thrown in. Alright, big guy. That's a little too far. There, perfect. That'll do her. That should get us through till tonight. So not a lot of wood, but enough. And those big rounds, you can see they're cracking a little bit, but that should get us through till later. I'll probably clean the ashes out tonight, but that's it. That's all I gotta really do to swap the kiln. Make sure there's wood in the boiler, of course. Because like I said, she'll probably use a quarter more the first couple of days than it would normally do this time of year, which is not a lot. But mind you, that's a big, big boiler. A lot of water. But, you know, beginning of the cycle, it'll probably draw a minimum within the first 12 hours, 30 degrees off that loop at all times. That may not seem like a lot, but it is. And once she gets up to temp, she'll pull about 12 degrees at all times. It wouldn't be that much if I wasn't venting nonstop, but I'm taking heat out with moisture at all times to try to speed up the process, right? And I do still, you know, massive humidity dumps. I let the valve open, bring in fresh air. You don't lose that much temp because the wood's already up to 155, 160 degrees. You're just losing the temperature of the air. So it's a learning curve, obviously, but this is just a reminder of this time of year why I want to build a much larger kiln. I don't think I'm gonna have time to do it this year. I really want to. There's just, I'm not even sure where I'm gonna put it yet. What I might do, I have the dedicated line already started for the kiln. I just don't want to have to run all these lines just to move these lines for the new kiln. Because if I can get a bigger pump with a dedicated circuit, run just for the kiln to get the hot water there faster, more flow, I should be able to get it hotter. Because that's what I'm going to do on the next kiln. I'm going to put a massive pump because there's going to be so much more heat demand for that larger kiln with way more wood. It's going to take longer to get up to temp, blah, 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 blah. I'll go over all that in future videos, but yep, so 2 cords loaded. I already did a cord this morning. We got 7 baskets in the kiln, 1 cherry, 1 oak, the rest mixed hardwood. Hopefully within 5 to 7 days, that's good to go. And then all this has still got to get dried. This was all made, like I said, last week. You know, and I have them all billowing, so when they shrink in the kiln, it'll equal a face cord. That one's a little bit lower, but it's fine. You know, so plenty of wood that needs to be dried and gone. Now, if I had that larger kiln, all of this would be in there, no problem, with room to spare. So yeah, a lot of things that need to get done, but in about an hour, I got to go deliver that, come back, and do it all over again. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Just another day in the life of what I do. So, got some trees we got to do in the next couple days here. More wood to make. My log delivery trucks should be coming next week. I'm not sure what day, but I told them I need 50 cords because I'll probably go through that in, I don't know, for sure a month. And then I'll need another 50, 60. That's kind of what I asked for, 50 to 60 cords of wood, because I know I can get probably a little bit more down there, but for sure I want to be able to have enough to get me through the winter of drying at least, but I need to start making a ton more to get stored next door. So, But yeah, let me know what you guys think. But as always, keep burning.